Today, I am honored to welcome entrepreneur, advocate, speaker, and because I love a crowning moment, former Miss Universe Demi-Leigh Tebow to River City Live to talk about how she is laser focused on educating, equipping, and empowering other women through her Unbreakable initiative. Thank you so much for joining us in the studio today.
No, thank you for having me. I'm so excited to be here.
Now, I think before we talk about this very exciting, interactive, and empowering event that you have coming up, we have to talk about your story and really how it started.
Well, Jenna, if you hear the little bit of a messed up accent, I am from South Africa originally, so I've lived in the States for the last just about 6 years. My husband's American, of course, and Jacksonville is hometown for us. So, you know, taking it back a couple of years back in South Africa, my hometown, I one day experienced a pretty traumatic situation that truly served as a catalyst to me learning about the issues that women face worldwide. Well, back then it was really in South Africa. And once I got crowned Miss Universe, I realized that, man, it's not just women in my home country that face the same issues, that face abuse, that face hardship in relationships, that face not being able to set healthy boundaries. And to take it back a couple of years, the moment that served as a catalyst to me learning about this, you know, worldwide situation was I was driving up a big avenue, 5:30 in the afternoon, broad daylight, peak hour traffic, on a big avenue with multiple lanes, multiple cars. I stopped at a red traffic light, and the next moment I was surrounded by multiple men, and some of them were armed, and I remember seeing a gun pointing right to my face, right to my head. In that moment, I knew that I didn't have a lot of choices, so I immediately surrendered, tried to get out of the vehicle, tried to run up that avenue in the 6-inch high heels, but I wasn't able to do that because the man on my side of the vehicle grabbed me, pushed me back into the vehicle, said something to the extent of, you know, get in, you're going with us. And as he was trying to push me back into the vehicle, I remember two things. You know, it's obviously a very traumatic situation, and in that moment, it's hard to really think clearly.
Sure.
But I remember two things that I had learned previously, and those two things were, one, do not ever go to the second destination, and two, the throat. It's lethal, it's accessible, you're not gonna break your hand trying to, you know, get a hold of it.
Right.
Of course, it's lethal, so please do not ever try this as a joke or at home. This was purely meant to be used in a life-threatening situation like the one I was in. I grabbed hold of whatever I could. I punched the guy as hard as I could in his throat, and it bought me a very small second window of opportunity to get out of that vehicle and to get away from that situation, and that's exactly what I did. That was very traumatic, everything I just told you, but I would say maybe the most traumatic part of this situation was not just being surrounded by multiple men with guns pointing to my head, but it was running up that avenue. Wasn't that terrifying just because I was running in high heels?
Right.
That was pretty terrifying too.
Sprinting down in midday traffic.
Yes.
Right.
But running up that avenue, knocking on window after window, you know, people, it was bumper to bumper traffic. People were moving slow. Their windows were open. They could hear what I was saying. They could see me clearly, knocking on window after window, and nobody would stop to help me. Jenna, that was pretty terrifying. I remember just kept running. I remember there was a moment where I looked over my shoulder and I saw that the men were still busy with my car, that they hadn't gotten away yet. And I didn't know if they were there for me. I didn't know what their intent was. I didn't know if I'm being shot in the back. I didn't know if any of the car windows I was knocking on were maybe a part of their situation.
Right, you don't know what you're running into. I mean, and like you said, you had just been crowned. You don't know if they're trying to get you for ransom. Your brain is racing, and so are you as you're sprinting through this traffic, hoping that people would help you. You know, when I was sharing your story with other people, I was like, people wouldn't roll down their window for Miss South Africa. What would I do as just Janice sprinting down the street, begging, asking for help? Now, this is the portion where I think is so special, and I think that we as women really need to lock it in here.
Right.
So who was it that finally came to your rescue?
Yeah, this is where Unbreakable was born. Obviously not until a good time period after, once I went through a healing process and once I did trauma counseling and once I was able to know that, hey, asking for help does not equal weakness. It actually takes a lot of courage to ask for help, and that, you know, just because none of those cars stopped for me on that road doesn't mean that there aren't people that love you, that care for you, and that want to help you and that want the best for you. I kept running down that avenue, knocking on window after window, and eventually I reached the intersection. This old little car, I mean really, really old little car, swerved over the intersection, you know, kind of causing people to brake and honk and kind of nearly causing a big accident. And this young girl, it was an old car, she had to roll down the car window. She rolled down the car window and she yelled at me and said, Demi, or, well, she didn't know my name. She said, hey, do you need help? Something to that extent, right? Get in, and right before I was able to get into the passenger seat, and I say this side because we drive on the opposite side of the road and we sit on the opposite side of the car back in South Africa. We drive on the right side of the road. She had to lean over and she had to unlock the little car knob. And you know, that moment, thinking back at it now, I realized that, man, Demi, like, I hope that you're never one of the cars that decided not to hear, decided not to see, decided to, you know, turn a blind eye, but that you are always going to be that lady, that young girl, that 19-year-old girl, she was 19 years old at the time, that would choose to show up and step up for somebody in need, that would choose to, you know, not be silenced by not feeling like you can make an extravagant impact. You know, I think so many times we get fearful, and our pride kind of steps in and we say, hey, you know what, if I can't donate $1 million, or if I can't start my own foundation, or if I can't do something extravagant, it will have no impact. Right. And she proved me wrong. You know, she used her old little car that literally she had to roll down her car window, she had to lean over to unlock the door. And she showed me that, you know what, God can use us where we are at with what we've got as long as we are willing. But we have to be willing. Exactly. And be careful, because he can use you.
Yes, and he will as soon as you open your heart to that, which is the most important part. And she opened her heart and she opened her car to you. Yes. So like you said, that is when the Unbreakable initiative, I say initiative because it is an event, but it's attached to something so much bigger. So that is when Unbreakable was born. And something that I thought was so interesting about your event that I promise we are going to talk about was the fact that it was very multifaceted. You have created something that encourages other women to be the one that opens the door. That's right. Not the one who is afraid to open the door in many ways, because you have women from the WWE, you have doctors, you have authors, you have really a powerhouse group of people that are going to come together and give women tools. You know, what was it when you were putting this event together that you said, I want this to be different from other women's empower initiatives? What was it about taking you from that experience to creating this event and putting these pieces together when you finally said, like, okay, this is it, I'm ready, and now I'm ready to bring it to Jacksonville?
You know, I fully acknowledge that I am no field expert whatsoever. I have a story that I get to share, and I have a heart that was born for women that are hurting around the world. I named this confidence building workshop Unbreakable because, you know what, sometimes we can be a little bruised. Sometimes we can be a little shaken. Sometimes we can be a little traumatized, maybe a lot traumatized. But when we get to walk hand in hand next to each other, not ahead of each other, not behind each other, but next to each other, arm in arm, and we say, girl, I have got you. I am here for you. I am praying for you. I want to walk this road with you. Let's go and get you professional help. Let's go and see somebody. Here are some resources that can help you. That is when we get to be unbreakable. Doesn't mean that we won't hurt. You know, we know that we will face trials and tribulations, but we were created for community. We were created to have strong relationships, to have deep relationships. And that is what I hope to build with Unbreakable. We will have a neuroscientist, Dr. Caroline Leave, who is actually a fellow South African, by the way.
Yes, she is.
She will be one of our keynote speakers. We will have a holistic health practitioner, Dr. Cody, who's a co-founder of Mixers. We will have our ministry partners, IJM, be a part of the day. Eve Torres Gracie, who's part of the legendary Gracie family that literally founded Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. I mean, can't get better, right? So they will all be a part of the day. And then we also have a couple of surprise guest speakers that we can't reveal just yet.
Okay.
But I just promise you that you're not going to want to miss hearing from them. My hope and goal with Unbreakable is, you know what, a carjack situation is a far-fetched situation, right? Not everybody can necessarily relate to that, and God willing, nobody in that audience will ever have to live through a situation like that. But each and every one of us face challenges, face barriers in our everyday life. And, you know, I don't know if that's going through maybe a hard breakup, maybe that's a really messy divorce, maybe that is the bullying at school that is just getting too hard to deal with. Maybe that is, you know what, I don't know what the plan for my future is and I have no idea how to reach it. Well, I hope that when we walk out of those doors on October 7th, that we get to walk out of those doors feeling educated, equipped, and empowered to go and break those barriers and to go and overcome those challenges. And most importantly, to take hands and to stand alongside our fellow sisters and to walk through hard situations together with, the key word is confidence.
Exactly. We all want to be able to walk through situations with confidence. And like it said, take women who maybe walk in those doors. In an interview, you said that we can't change what people say about our lives, but we can choose the people who speak into our lives.
So good, yes.
So this is a group of women who is taking their time, who's investing their time and their day to come and make each other better. These are women that maybe you've never met in Jacksonville. They're going to be coming from everywhere. These are women in your community that have those same goals, you know, so we're always becoming who we're surrounded with.
That's so
you know,
true.
for the good or for the bad. I mean, and I think you've spoken about this for your, you know, for your pageant prep. It's, am I going to do the best that I can? Am I going to surround myself with excellence and know that I'm doing my best? So be willing to surround yourself with people and objectives and professionals that get you there. So creating all of these people, creating this community, like I said, this is not just an event, this is a community, you know, that we're going to want to be a part of. So what are you hoping that people take away with? If there was one specific thing, you said that even if you walk in and out of these doors with one change in your life, what do you hope that is for people?
I truly hope, and this is our main focus with Unbreakable, is that each and every person that walk out of those doors will be able to walk out with a little bit more confidence to go into that gym and to start that workout, a little bit more confidence to tackle those resolutions that you might have gotten rid of at the end of January, but you feel inspired to go and tackle them again and finish in the end of this year. Walk out with confidence to go and ask for that raise, to go and apply for that job. You know what, if you didn't make that college application, go and apply to 5 more because you are worthy, you are worth it, and you are one of one, and there is a perfect plan for your life. And you know what, let's never say never, and let's never give up. So I hope that we get to walk out with that. And also, I hope that we get to walk out looking at each other, knowing how worthy each and every life is that will be attending that workshop, and that we get to inspire one another and motivate one another to go and chase our dreams and to go and live to our God-given full potential.
If nothing else, just go so that you can hear her speak. My cheeks are hurting because I just want to go and conquer the world after this interview. So, okay, so we have to talk logistics before we can go and conquer the world because we've got to know everything about it. So
let's do it.
So drop us the deets. What do we need to know? We got to go sign up because word on the street is that these tickets do go really, really fast. And I know that it's a limited number because you want people to have that time to interact, that time to be coached, that time to learn.
Yes. So Saturday, October 7th, that's next Saturday. It will be at the San Pablo Church of 1122 campus. We're so excited about that. It's actually our home church, so really excited to be able to host the first Unbreakable workshop, hopefully the first of many right here in Jacksonville, Florida. Morning starts at 10. I believe doors open around 9. You can get all that details on the website. Our Instagram handle is Together Unbreakable. You can go to demi-leigh.com to find more information, or any social media channels, honestly, that I'm a part of. You can go and find all the details there. So we'll have all our guest speakers. And then also I wanted to mention that we have a Facebook group. We talked about community, and we talked about having deep relationships, and we talked about, you know, walking alongside one another, supporting and cheering for each other. Go and join that Facebook group. My brain's thinking too quick for my mouth.
She's excited. Listen, aren't we all?
Excited. Can you tell? Yeah, I mean, if you think I'm not passionate about this, well, anyway, think again. Go and follow that Facebook group. Go and follow our Together Unbreakable Instagram channel, and you'll find all the details there. So excited.
Yes, well, you guys know I love a social moment, so I'll make sure that you have all the links, everything you need, what to wear something comfortable, wear something fun, because it's going to be an active and interactive day. So
that's right.
I just want to say thank you so much for coming, not only just to share your story, but opening this invitation. And it's so special that this is happening right here in the 904.
We're so excited. Thank you, guys.
Hope to see you there. We'll see you there. We wouldn't miss it.
Hey everyone, Demi Tebow here. I am so excited because my Unbreakable Confidence Building Workshop is coming to Jacksonville, Florida. Unbreakable is a women's empowerment conference I started a few years back, stemming from a terrifying carjack experience during my time as Miss South Africa. Thankfully, I had been trained in various self-defense courses at the time that gave me the confidence and the knowledge to manage that terrifying situation. After that incident, I realized that there's many women that don't feel that they have the knowledge and resources to be able to step up with courage, not just in a scary carjack situation, but also in everyday life situations. And exactly for that reason, I decided to launch Unbreakable, a confidence building workshop that aims to educate, equip, and empower women all over the world so that they can step up with confidence, break barriers, and realize their full potential. Through keynote speeches, hands-on workshops, and advice from experts in the field of psychology, self-defense, social media safety, and so much more. Unbreakable strives to foster women's personal growth and resilience so that they can face whatever challenges might come their way. Join me and other women for a motivating, inspiring, and empowering experience. Register now at Demi-Leigh.com.